Oh, not quite as comfortable as last week for some reason.
Do you have to clap?
Maybe need more pillows. Yeah, okay. Your mic position is irritating. Count us down then.
1, 2, 3.
Camera's wonky. That's not good. That's good. That's optimal. No? Yep.
I'll just say like this, thank you.
Okay. Camera's wonky, unfortunately. But it has to be wonky because on the diabetes episode, it kept turning off. So we've had to, what do you call it, jimmy it?
Shimmy it.
No, you know when you make your jimmy, is it jimmy?
Shimmy.
You know when you make something you have to make stuff with parts and it's a bit, what's shimmy? No, it's not shimmy, it's jimmy, isn't it?
I don't know, Ben.
Google it, jimmy
No,
it,
I'm
I
not
don't know,
Googling
you know what I
shite.
mean. So that's it. It's wonky, but it needs to charge because it keeps turned off so many times during the last episode. And it's really off-putting. What was that?
2 times. It turned off in the last episode.
Okay. 2 times.
Too many. And Ben also needs a haircut. Just to get that out
Anyway,
there.
that's woes.
Yep.
That's just had to get that off my chest. I'm allowed at least a minute just to get stuff off my
You said
chest.
30 seconds.
Right, anyway, let's go.
Okay.
So the diabetes episode, the last one. Yeah, shame. Some good stuff in there, I think, but technical problems, as always, derailed a perfectly reasonable episode. Crippling. Crippling, but as what do I always say, Fiona?
It'll all be worth it in the end. It has to be worth it in the end.
It has to be. You have to look back at these times. And this is all relatable, isn't it? I know, it's narcissistic ramblings about your health, but it's always relatable. You got to go through tough times, ridiculous times. Sitting here doing this. You have to try and make it worth it. With your health, with your life, with your fitness, nutrition, whatever. You got to make it worth it. Sometimes it doesn't pan out that way. There's a real possibility that push-pull health might not become as big as I'd hope.
Oh.
That's the reality, isn't it? That's the reality, but got to keep turning up and doing this. Because if you don't, then what? Nothing.
Well, that's not a very positive attitude to have.
No, you have to be realistic though, don't you? You only hear about from the 1%. The people at the top. The people that have made it, have written the books, have done the podcasts.
Well, they keep saying, keep going.
You don't hear about the other 99%, do you? Because they didn't make it. That's the reality. It's tough. You have to think, well, no, I'm going to be one of the 1%. That's me. Why else would you do it? You can do it for the love. You can do it because you enjoy it. You want to spend your whole Sunday morning doing this, trying to put a wonky camera on and you're crapping your pants because at any second you're waiting for that noise to go. What's the noise? What's the noise? Whatever the noise is when the shutter closes.
That's how you call a cat.
The noise when the camera turns off.
Oh, don't worry.
Is that a metaphor? Is that a metaphor on life? Maybe
We'll probably hear
on life.
Don't worry.
Is that a metaphor?
I don't.
Let's link it back round to life and today's topic of body image and self-compassion and all that good stuff. Got to keep going. That's not woes though, is it? I think that's okay.
That's okay, Ben.
That's all I'm trying.
That's perfectly reasonable.
Fine, that's all I'm trying to do.
I'll allow that.
That's all I'm trying to do with this stuff.
But just because I've allowed
I'm trying to link in the woes. What's everyone else facing?
probably
lots
the
of the
same
same-
but different.
Right, okay. They've got their own version of this. They're trying to turn up every week. They're trying to keep going. As I've said to you before, I'm always working at 50%. I'm just waiting for something to go wrong.
Well, maybe
Crippling.
have a positive attitude today, Ben, and think, oh, nothing's going to go wrong
No,
today.
I don't think you're quite getting it, Fiona. It's not about not having... I've got a positive attitude. Well, I've got a rotten attitude. This is what it's all about.
Yes, you
Push-pull
do.
health. It's rotten
You
attitude.
do.
But of course, I've got to remain positive. You have to persevere, don't you?
Yes.
You've just got to have that in mind. There's no point lying to yourself. What's funny?
I'm on edge now, thinking it's going to go off.
Yes. There's no point lying to yourself. You might not achieve everything you want to achieve. Sometimes I think that stops people from turning up. We have got a culture now a little bit where it's almost pessimistic, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
whinging.
It's too hard.
Do you know, what's the point? What's the point?
I'll just do something else.
This is a roadmap to achieve this, and you might not achieve it, but do this for a year, see what happens. Nah. A year, nah. Even if you don't say, unfortunately, you do this for a year, you might not still achieve all your goals. Don't even say that. Most people don't. The 1% don't, do they? At the top, they don't say it. And you don't hear from the rest because they didn't make it. 10 years from now, you look back at this and go, oh, bloody hell. Good for you, Ben. You kept going.
Mm-hmm.
You kept going. And you laughed about it. You can laugh about it now because you did it.
But just
whatever that is.
Ben, in 10 years' time, we certainly weren't laughing about it right now. Stressful.
I hope that most people can get into the mindset of giving it a go is better than not doing it.
Yes, that's very good, Ben.
Still give it a go. Don't be one of those people. Don't be those people. When you get to 50, 60, you're overweight, you're miserable. You didn't get to where you wanted to get to. You start taking it out on everyone else. Your family, your kids. Do you want to be that? What's worse, not giving it a go, or giving it a go and not quite reaching the top?
Giving it a go and reaching the top.
But who knows? Maybe not. Maybe that's rubbish. Because if you try and achieve your dream and you don't make it, maybe the fall is even longer. So it's easier to just not.
But at least you tried.
That links into the quote, doesn't it, last week?
And gave it a whirl.
About people and their dreams. What was the quote again? I can't remember. Go watch the diabetes episode.
Excuse me. I don't feel very well this morning.
Oh dear. Okay, that went on for too long.
I
was getting stressed because I was just like, oh no, the narcissistic ramblings. Oh no, the woes. No. Anyway. So let's finish off the diabetes stuff because there was lots of points we didn't make on the diabetes episode. So if we just finish off on that, and then we'll move on to this week's topic of body image and self-compassion and right, please finish off diabetes.
What am I finishing off on? Muscle tissue?
Yes, I forgot to mention about why having big muscles is a good thing for men and women. I know women freak out a little bit about the whole, I'm going to get too bulky. You won't.
Okay.
You don't, Fiona. You don't get too bulky. You do not. You won't get too bulky.
Okay.
Men have been lifting weights. I've been lifting weights for a long time. I'm not too bulky. I'm not too big. We don't get too big. It kills us inside. Lots of men who go to the gym, and natural, of course. If you start pumping stuff into your buttocks, different story. But natural. You go to the gym for 15, 20 years. First couple of years, some newbie gains. This is lovely. Look at this. I've got some muscle. And then it starts to slow down. Get into your 30s. Tough. What you're trying to do then is just maintain what you got more than anything. Natural. But then you hear women who are in their 40s. I don't want to get too big. Oh, Sally, please. What are you talking about? I've been doing this for 20 years. You might think I'm big, but no, I'm not. This is tough. You won't get too big. Enough with the big stuff.
Yeah.
Bulky. No. Dispel the myth. Lifting weights will get you bulky and big. It's almost like women think, oh my God, if I lift weights for a month, I'll turn into Arnold Schwarzenegger.
True.
No, but it's serious. Yeah, yes. It is though, isn't it?
Yes, it is true. That's when you automatically think of weightlifting and you automatically think that you get big.
Yes. I'm not having a go. I'm just saying, please, you won't. Even if you are,
well, thank you.
Even if you start shoving stuff into your buttocks, you won't.
So you mean steroids into your buttocks?
Oh, well, potentially.
No. Were you not tempted in Indonesia a few times?
That's a different story.
Were you not tempted?
We're 10 minutes in. We need to get to the episode.
Yep. Well, you're the one who's been rambling.
Stop rambling.
So the reason why Ben is saying all that is because muscles are the biggest dumping ground for glucose. Muscle tissue is a major site for glucose disposal. Larger, more active muscles have a great capacity to absorb glucose from the bloodstream without requiring large amounts of insulin. Therefore, get more muscle.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Would it make sense if you hadn't watched the diabetes episode or listened to it?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you sure?
Yes.
With the glucose?
Yes.
Every time you eat, carbs in particular, but most foods, there's a spike in glucose.
Mm-hmm.
And insulin is then released from the pancreas.
Yes.
And then the insulin's released to then try and shuttle the glucose into the cells or the fat or the muscle. What's funny?
I don't like the way you're saying that.
What, shuttle?
No, the way you're just there.
Well, that's what it's trying to do. Lads,
Direct
if you go over there, lads, there's some muscle over. Go in there. So you need more muscle.
Go to the muscle. Straight to the muscle.
Get more, for women, lean muscle. Sorry, that's what I should have said. It's lean muscle. So the whole bulky thing, lean. The whole tone up thing. It's fine. It's not a problem because that's the language people get. That's how they speak. I push back on it a little bit, but no. That's what people say.
Yes.
Clients who come through the door, it's, I want to tone up.
Well, that's what I'd always
Gaining
say.
lean muscle is what they mean.
Yes.
They want to gain lean muscle,
but
but the second well, please.
Are you going to go in and say to your client, like I wouldn't go in to say to you, Ben, I would like to gain more lean muscle.
Exactly, or muscle.
You get it.
Just
I'm
the
going to
word,
say tone
just
up.
the word muscle. For women, it's oh my god, no muscle. I just want to tone up. No problem. Lean muscle, aka tone up.
Less fat, more muscle. Less jiggly fat.
Bingo wings, yes, that's what other people say as well. Yeah, bingo wings. You can't spot reduce. That's a whole different thing, unfortunately.
Yes, let's not get into that.
Okay. Yes. So tone up. Oh, okay. Yes, that's probably worth saying. Yeah.
So women experience a decline in estrogen, which can lead to insulin resistance and weight gain, especially around the abdomen. Is that why they have the people gain weight during the?
It can do. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. This hormonal shift makes it harder for the body to regulate blood sugar, increasing the risk of type 2 diabetes. Regular strength training and aerobic exercise can counteract the decline by improving insulin sensitivity, reducing the frequency of glucose spikes and helping with weight management. Increased muscle mass also helps combat the metabolic slowdown that occurs during menopause. Those who are insulin resistant, cells cannot effectively shuffle glucose to fat, liver, muscle, etc.
What's funny?
I just didn't know you shuffling.
Shuttle, isn't it?
Oh, shuttle, sorry.
Okay.
Dyslexia.
Does that make sense?
That does make sense, yes.
Can you explain? That's
Not
probably
really.
what we should.
You should explain.
No, if it makes sense, you should be able to say, what I took from that was this.
During menopause, you get fatter because obviously you're not able to absorb.
Now, well, we have to be careful with the word fat or fatter. That
you
links
gain,
into
you
with
gain
the
a little bit of weight.
Potentially,
due
yes.
to the inability
You're
to,
prone to potentially start gaining some weight. Yeah.
due to the insulin issues that you have because your body's becoming more resistant. So therefore, to combat that, do more exercise.
Well, again, it links into the same thing.
That's what I got.
Start doing strength training.
Why strength training?
Gain some of that lean muscle.
Oh, to get the muscle. Okay, because muscle is the dumping.
Well, it's just very
ground
good for you.
glucose.
Yes, it's just very good for you.
Fine.
If you watch the diabetes episode, that should make sense overall. Because this is a whole different episode.
Yes.
Just doing a little recap because of the technical problems we had in the last one. Okay, body image.
Right. What's today's episode, Ben?
Didn't introduce ourselves.
My name's Fiona.
Oh, God. Oh, it's just basic. It's schoolboy. It's important. It is. God forbid. No one's watching yet, so it's okay. But they might go back and watch. Or, what was if someone does? Hi, I'm Ben. You're Fiona. Why is that so difficult to remember?
Push-pull held.
Yes. Why is it
Pushing
so
your health
hard?
and the pulse of life. Do you have a rotten attitude to exercise and nutrition?
Why is it so hard? Hi, my name's Ben Davis. This is Push-Pull Health.
I'm Fiona.
Okay, I need to cut this in. This needs to be cut in at the start of the episode. Right, good. More work for me to do. Let's cut this in at the start.
Okay. Off. Over to you, Ben.
I changed my motto. So before it was Push-Pull Health, asking you to embrace your rotten attitude to exercise and nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
By giving the middle finger, right, this is what I changed. So by giving the middle finger to your restrictive diet. Well, no, that's not really correct. For some, because they have been on restrictive diets over the years, like very restrictive, because every diet is restrictive.
Yes.
Within reason. No, it needs to be unrestrictive diet, doesn't it? I've changed it. Giving the middle finger to your unrestrictive diet. Because the reason you're coming to me is because
You have a restricted
you don't
diet.
have any restriction.
Oh, that's just mine. That's confusing.
No, sorry. No, it's not. It's very straightforward. The reason you're coming to me is because your diet is unrestrictive, because you are eating everything and drinking everything.
Mm-hmm. So you want your diet to become restricted?
No, every diet, there has to be a form of restriction, because if there isn't, you'll be humongous. So there has to be a form of restriction.
Yes.
Doesn't mean it has to be miserable, but there has to be a form of restriction. You have to be mindful of what you're shoving in your gob.
Okay.
And giving the middle finger to your hideous exercise routine. No.
Well, I don't have one.
Exactly. So it's half-assed exercise routine, because most people don't have one. And if you do, it's probably half-assed. Hence why they're going to have their health pushed. Hence why they need to embrace their rotten attitude to exercise and nutrition. I was getting it all wrong. Well, yes, people have had restrictive diets. They've done the juice cleansing. They've done the counting the sins and the points, and they've done all the nonsense. Cambridge diet, keto. They've done all the stuff. It might not work for them. Form of restriction. But if they're coming to me, it's because chances are their diet is unrestrictive. They eat whatever they want, drink whatever they want. They're not exercising. They're barely moving. What do you think of that?
Good, yes. I understand.
Does that make sense?
Yes, I understand. Just don't want you to make it complicated.
Sorry.
But it's not complicated, so that's okay. You had to explain it to me.
Well, apparently it is.
You had to explain it to me, yes.
I've literally just gone from restrictive to unrestrictive. Two letters.
2 letters are an awful lot, Ben.
Okay, anyway, right, let's Ben, put that in at the start.
Yes, okay.
Body image. Where should we start with body image? It's something that I haven't really touched upon.
Maybe with a disclaimer.
Oh, of course, a disclaimer, yes. Yeah, again, narcissistic ramblings. Narcissistic health ramblings. I have experience in this. I was a child. Quite plump. Plump child. Big child. Who do I blame for that? The banshee and my nan. Lots of food. Lots of food and Lucasade shoved in my direction. Not good. Big boy. Oh, sorry. Self-compassion, isn't it, Fiona?
Yes, Ben. Well done.
So
for recognising.
I've got some skin in the game. This isn't just me saying, "Oh, I've just had a chiseled six-pack all my life," and these people that are overweight, you need to look at yourself in the mirror, which is rough, isn't it? Because you do have people that do that. People online, other people that have been in reasonably good nick for a lot of their life, are telling you about how you need to do better. You need to have skin in the game. Ideally. Makes you a bit more relatable, doesn't it?
Well, yeah.
So yes, disclaimer. Everything we say in the next half an hour or 45 minutes, is it meant to offend? I'm not offending anyone. I'm just talking about certain points. Oh, sorry, we are. You're here as well. We're just talking about certain things. We've only got 40 minutes, so just going to be scratching the surface of body image and self-discovery and what else? What other words are there? Self-compassion. Body neutrality. All these buzzwords. Right, okay, where should we start?
Don't know, you tell me.
Well, my notes are there, Fiona. I've shared the notes with you. So is anything jumped off the page?
Over the place.
Oh, I see. Transformation pictures. Are they a good thing? People that starve themselves for 12 weeks? You know, the photo shoot?
Yes.
Need to start releasing those photos at some point. I think they can be quite damaging for most people. It's a challenge, yes, if you want to challenge yourself to see how lean you can get and then put the fake tan on and put the lights on and take some pictures and high-five everyone. For most people, not really needed, is it?
Well, I wouldn't do.
In my opinion.
A picture. Because what if something happens? So you take your picture. What if something happens?
Well, what happens when you go for the transformation? You go, wow, God, I can get that. Look at my abs. Look how lean I can get. Well, and then you go back to normal life.
Yes.
You put on a bit of weight.
Yes, and you're back to your trousers, which you don't want to change size down again. It's quite damaging.
It can be, yeah.
Yes, psychologically.
It can be. And you've got those transformation pictures. They're not for you, are they? They're for you, but they're also for everyone else. How many people will have a 12-week transformation, a 12-week transformation where they just starve themselves, slowly starve themselves to death, and have the pictures and just keep the pictures to themselves? Well, no, it's to show everyone else. What's the point of them? Other than it's a challenge.
I think if it's just for yourself, and you maintain and you continue that progress consistently, and you then maintain that progress, I think they're probably a good thing to have. If you're a yo-yo dieter like I would be, I don't think it's a good thing.
Yeah, but you can't maintain it. It's impossible.
Yeah, but
You'll die.
No, I mean if you maintain
What I'm saying.
So you're saying if somebody starves themselves, but what if somebody does it through normal means? So what if somebody does a transformation picture, stays with you in the gym for 5 to 6 months?
Yes, I'm saying specifically people that really go down to like single digit body fat, or for women 14%, like low percentage body fat. For men it's normally single digits. For
so
women
you're
it's
saying if people do it
13-14%.
People who do it incorrectly, who lose the weight quick, who starve themselves.
Yes, that. But also people who go on these 12-week transformations and go and do these photo shoots where they get obscenely lean.
Yes,
and they lose too much weight, and it's just for those photos.
Yeah, well, then,
because
it's not good. It's damaging.
It's not sustainable.
It's not good for your body.
It's not meant to be sustainable. It's meant to be a 12-week thing, and then you then just slowly reverse diet.
Yeah,
which is a whole different thing as well. You need to make sure that you've got a decent coach, or you've got the protocols in place to reverse out of that massive deficit you've got yourself into.
Well, then it just gives a negative mindset as well. If you do want to do exercise, you just think of those miserable 3 months that you had spent trying to lose that weight for those pictures. Although it's for pictures, it's for a reason, and that's why it's so intense. But at the end of the day, you're going to associate it with your diet.
Unless it's your job. The weird thing about bodybuilding is, and this is different to transformation pictures, because bodybuilders, you go on stage, put the fake tan on, so there's similarities, and you look at them on stage, you think, oh my god. If you're into that, or if you're not, you could look at someone and go, oh god, yeah, look at that. Like you can see all his veins, all his abs. Oh Jesus, what work! Like he looks like he's in phenomenal shape, or she. She looks like she's in phenomenal shape. Oh my god, that must be the pinnacle of health, isn't it? Look at that. Look how lean they are. Look at those muscles. It's the one thing that the more you do, the worse you get at it. Everything else, when you're making improvements or you're doing something over and over again in other sports or with hobbies or whatever you're doing, you normally do it and you get better at it. Bodybuilding, you're getting leaner and revealing more muscle and taking more weight off, and you become just more and more unhealthy. But you look better. Yeah, but when you look better, but you become more unhealthy.
When you shredded, you looked like death's door.
Yes, but a lot of people could say, if I'd put some fake tan on...
But you had your V and shit.
Right, if I'd put fake tan on, people would have gone, oh my God, look at him. Oh my God, he looks phenomenal.
Yeah, but you were horrible. You couldn't even cuddle. You're skin and bone, even though you weren't, but you felt skin and bone.
Yeah, not good.
I like
but
bear.
If I'd have gone to a photo shoot, put some fake tan on, pumped up a little bit,
I do have
put those photos online, some people would have gone, oh my God, look at this guy. Oh, yes, please. Look at that physique. Oh, sensational.
It wasn't nice to cuddle, so no. That was when we were on holiday somewhere. Terrible.
Not good. So, right, body image.
You're pale
that's
and...
binge eating. Lots to get into with that, but that's a whole different topic. That's a whole different episode. Binge eating, emotional eating. Oh, goodness me. This is hard because a lot of these topics you can have whole episodes on. I could talk about that for a whole episode, really, give or take. Transformation pictures and how they're very dubious for most people, and how I would not advocate them for the general population. I think they can go wrong. Long term, there could be some problems with that.
Yes, I think from there we should talk about filtering.
Oh, I don't have much to say about filtering. I thought I'd just mention it because it's all to do with, does that help you with your body image, with self-compassion?
Well, filters are just...
Yes, filters. So we're talking about people who have got profile pictures, or just pick every single picture has got a filter on.
Yes,
of some
with
kind.
stars on their face, glassy eyes. Just know.
Also slimming as well. The apps they slim. Yeah.
Yeah, I can make my nose look smaller.
And this is people that are using them like the
cheeks.
Kardashians, who are size 8, who are on Ozempic, all sorts of stuff.
Yes,
and they're every picture is just I assume is filtered and slimmed and just airbrushed and
yes, and it's very sad because that doesn't show who you really are. It's literally a filter. It's fake. Nobody has really glassy eyes. Nobody has really well, people do, but like a filter's a filter. You can see that it's great. Oh.
I'm going to have to buy a new camera. I'm not doing this anymore. Okay, let's be quick, Fiona, because the camera's turned off again. Oh dear.
He's got a 30-minute timer.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Going back to the speech at the start, the monologue at the start.
So we were talking about filters.
Why does it keep turning off?
So we don't have time, Ben.
Never used to.
You're
Never
on
used to do
timer
it.
now.
It's crippling. This is crippling, but 1%. That's all we can hope for. We got to get to that 1% where we can just get a nice camera. Have someone come in and just turn the camera on for me. And the lights and everything. Crippling. Absolutely crippling. Filters.
Yes, yes. I was saying I really hate filters. I can't bear them.
Right, what's the counter argument though?
Why people
As
do
to
them.
why people use them and... Are
Well, is that why people
a
catfish?
Yeah, but are you a negative Nancy? Are you horrible? Are you being nasty?
No, because I also hate filters on pictures in general. So like travelling, when we went travelling, all the places that we went to, some of them look beautiful, but compared to the pictures that was posted online, not a patch on it.
I see, right.
So it's not just filters as in people using them for profile pictures. It's filters in general. I hate any filter.
I suppose so.
Unless I'm having to crack with
I think
my
I'm
mother.
probably more offended by the human filters.
Well, yeah, but
When it comes to the children as well, they've got pictures filtered of their babies. Oh, it's actually, yeah, it's pretty sick. It makes me unwell actually. There's just my opinion. It's disgusting. I find it quite revolting. Please, counter argument. If
I don't have anything to say about it.
at the same time,
I just hate them so
I'm not
much.
passionate about it. If someone said to me, well, it makes me comfortable, whatever the excuse is, whatever their reason is as to why they filter every photo. Well, I'm self-conscious.
I seen a
I'm this,
filtered
I'm
dog
that.
recently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
He had lovely glassy eyes.
Maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe it's just a bad habit people get into.
Yeah.
If the option's there to slim up a little bit and to make things a bit better, what are you meant to do with people? If people are struggling with body image or they're self-conscious, whatever the issue may be, there might not be any issues. It might just be, oh well, that photo's could be a bit better, I suppose. Oh, let me just whack a filter on. Takes 5 seconds, doesn't it? Oh, let me just cut that bit out a bit. Oh god, it's a bit of a bad angle of me there.
Just take another one at a different angle.
Maybe it's just a bad habit for people. It's not. Sometimes you haven't got to dig deeper, have you? It's like, oh yeah, these people, oh god, they must have serious problems while they're doing that. Maybe not. Maybe it's just a bad habit.
Probably is bad habit because everyone does it.
But it's a
trend now.
It's just the filtered pictures online and the profile pictures, and I'm sure that's on dating profiles, whatever. I'm sure that's
isn't there a big rise in catfishing these days?
Well, catfishing's been happening forever.
Yeah, I know, but even more so now with these filters.
Well, but I think it's just part of it, though, isn't it? So
some of the filters, are quite, you don't look like that
different person, yeah,
completely different.
But it's
person.
almost like people are okay with it.
I can filter my hair to be brown,
right? But people
blue.
maybe that's all part of the experience with dating apps. Maybe people are okay with it. So it's almost like if people turn up and they're just nowhere near their picture, they both catfished each other.
But how would you find?
So
them
they
in
turn
a
up and
room?
go, "Oh, well, bloody hell, you look a bit different." Well, so do you, to be fair.
Yeah, but then
Yeah, okay, well, we can make this work.
But isn't that worse for somebody's self-confidence? If somebody says, oh, you really don't look like your picture.
Well, no, well,
Isn't that
yes,
worse?
well, maybe it only works if they've both done it,
Yeah.
and that's just the norm. And it is 50-50.
Well,
More than that, it's 70-30. Like, oh god, yeah, we could be getting a bit of a catfish here. But then I have also done some catfishing. I'm also catfishing this person. So let's hope, if anything, we're both catfishing,
We're both on the
and we can
same
both
page.
come to some middle ground and go, well, yeah, okay, you're a bit bigger than you were letting on, and oh, you see, you've got green hair, and you said that you have blonde hair. Okay, right. You're unemployed. You're not a lawyer. I don't know. Whatever the catfishing is, people can maybe come to a middle ground because they've both done it.
Maybe.
Anyway, that's lots to get into there, but we've got to move on. We need to talk about body image, self-compassion, all that good stuff. Kids seeing mums constantly on a diet. That's a thing, isn't it?
Yes.
So from an early age, you're seeing your mum on a diet,
aunt,
stepping on and off the scales,
or somebody
seeing
close
it,
to you, yeah.
yeah, seeing it dictate that. What's going on with it? Seeing it dictate their mood. You pick up on that. You think kids don't, but you pick up on it, don't you? From an early age. God, I'm having a real. You pick up on it. Kids pick up on it, do they not?
Yes, they do.
From an early age, they pick up their mum getting upset if they're not, I don't know, they've got back from their Slimming World club. That's the thing about Slimming World as well. They weigh in the evenings. Is that right?
We're not. No, some of them do in the morning.
Oh, do they?
Yes, don't.
So they go before work, do they?
Some people do, some people don't.
Oh, right. I thought it was like a get together in the evenings.
No, they can do evenings as well for people after work.
It's not the best because
Anyhow,
you've had a full day of eating and drinking.
Right. We're not talking about Slimming World today, though, are we?
Best case, you've had a turd in the morning. You've dropped the kids off at the pool, so you've at least done that.
Anyhow, on the note about children watching parents or whatever diet and whatever, I did see an episode recently of something. Don't know what it was. It was like a Judge Judy type thing, but it wasn't a Judge Judy type thing.
Why do you keep saying Judge Judy? Do you mean
because that's what it was like? It was a talk show, Ben. It was a judge.
It wasn't Dr. Phil.
No, it wasn't a man. It was a woman. It was an American show. Anyways,
what was it? Judge Judy?
No, I know what Judge Judy looks like.
Oh right.
Canal. What's your problem? Anyways,
you remind me a bit of Judge Judy.
13-year-old girl. Do you want to hear this or not?
Oh yes, well, I think the fans do. Yeah.
13-year-old girl. She was suing her mother, or she was trying to get her mother to, I don't know, sign over some legal requirements, whatever, for law. Anyways, the daughter, she wanted to have a gastric bypass because her mother had a gastric bypass, and she lost loads and loads of weight. And the daughter thought that it would help her. She was 13. She thought it'd help her fit into society, basically. And because her mum was bringing home younger gentlemen, she thought that would make her more attractive and more likeable for men, I suppose. So she was seeing what was happening to her mother because her mother had the weight lost. Her mother didn't want her to have the surgery because she knew how difficult it was having the surgery and the life things that she's had to do. But anyways, it turns out that the only reason why she wanted the surgery is because she was actually hoping that she'd feel better because she was actually undergoing all of the psychological trauma from when her parents had a divorce. And she just thought by being skinny it'd make her feel better.
Well, that's a whole different thing, isn't it, as well? It's a big subject, isn't it? Because really you need to get into what's happened because...
Well, that's what that judge did. She was actually very good.
Right.
She actually got into, well, why do you want this? Why do you feel like this?
People who have got an issue with their body... People who have got an issue with their body in some capacity, chances are you have to dig quite deep. And then you find out, I had this. Going back to the mum. I saw my mum when I was young getting on and off the scale, but very upset, going on all these wacky diets, not eating with us at the dinner table. She was having some juice thing. In the lounge, bouncing around, doing... Who's the quite popular person? Jane Fonda. Have you heard of her?
Yeah.
Did she not have an exercise? Well, they've all got them, haven't they? But she had an exercise video you could...
Oh, the leotards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is great.
All of them, they had it.
Oh, God.
Charlotte Crosby, she's got one.
Oh.
Holly Hagan.
The thing is that's not a problem.
Great for home workouts. But I haven't done that.
It's not an issue because you want to show your kids that you're exercising, you look after your health. But then what? What else is happening? If you're doing that, but then at the same time, you're weeping because the number on the scales isn't saying the number you want to see. What do you think, Fiona, about the kids?
Well, yeah, it can definitely be damaging. But then it depends on, the examples that you're given is very severe, I think. Not severe, what's the word? You're given really intense examples.
What is it like?
As,
is it?
Somebody crying on the scales and all that. To me personally, I would never cry getting on the scales. I'd be just like, oh, that's shit.
Well, maybe not.
On.
Maybe not that. Maybe that is reasonably severe. But just how it dictates people's mood.
Yeah, well, yeah, that'd be something that I could relate to.
If kids pick up on that.
Yeah, that's something that I could relate to because obviously it really does impact my mood. When I'm hungry, I'm not the best to be around.
Oh, I see, right.
But once I've eaten, my mood literally completely changes. So, and I still haven't recognised that my mood may be associated with eating, with needing food. I still haven't recognised that.
Right, I mean, but the scales is more about jumping on the scales, you're a bit heavier than you'd hope for, and then you go, then you go on a purge. You start purging yourself through exercise, or you go, we're back on the slim fast, right? Yeah,
but again, I would never do that. So I can't really relate to that example. I can only relate to the example because I just wouldn't do that. If I was up 2 kg, I'd be just, that's shit. Just try again next week and be better next week.
Lucky you.
So
Lucky
I
you.
wouldn't do something
Well,
like that.
I think for
but
women-
I would with mood.
For women, it's doing some daily weigh-ins at some point in your life is probably quite beneficial. Just to get a handle on, just to get that acceptance of realizing that you'll have daily fluctuations in weight, especially around your menstrual cycle. That last couple of weeks, tough.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. So it's probably worth doing just for 30 days, just as an experiment. Just, oh, actually, God, you know what? Yeah, okay. Based around the week before menstruation, for example. Yeah, my cravings, eat more, start feeling a bit bloated, a bit puffy, retaining water weight. That's why sometimes it's almost worth, if you are in a dieting phase, not stopping it completely, but just allowing yourself just to have that time off almost. Just go, do you know what? Let's go back up to maintenance. I'm not going to worry about trying to lose weight during this week because it's going to be tough. Chances are, I know how my body works. I know what the scales are saying. I know there's going to be fluctuations which are going to potentially annoy me. Maybe this week, let's just get through this week. Keep up everything else. Do the strength training, lift the weights. I'm not going to get big muscles. Tone muscles. Keep doing everything else. Keep the diet on check the best you can, but give yourself self-compassion.
Yes.
Right, there's loads. Oh, God, there's loads. And that camera could turn off at any second, apparently. No, it's gone.